particular was a difficult case. This was a case with a history of abuse dynamics, and it would have been very unfair for our client to have to face her abuser alone and try to negotiate with him directly.
So I had talked with several other attorneys, a few other attorneys prior to St. Andrews, and they either wanted way high retainer fees, which I couldn't afford, or they didn't want to listen to the story, to my story and my truth and what had happened.
This case is a prime example of why I do this work. I like going up against bullies. I like that I'm leveling the playing field.
Oh, the first time I met with Jordan was like a breath of fresh air. She was amazing. She listened to my story. She empathized with me about the situation. And she told me, you know, what my rights were legally.
The other party in this case was willing to throw everything they could at this, including engaging in some illegal activity, which just became another layer of complexity for us. We had a companion criminal matter and a resulting restraining order.
Jordan was just amazing with her patience and her perseverance. She didn't let the other side bully her. She stood strong. She stood for justice. She stood for what was right.
This is really why we're here. This is why the clinic is so necessary.
I couldn't believe it. It was 2 weeks before our court appearance, and I knew that he would come home after our court hearing. I knew for a fact. So I knew I only had to wait until that day. But my ex-husband finally conceded 2 weeks before that hearing date. And Jordan called me up and said, you know, he's going to drop him off to you. And I couldn't believe it. It was too much for me to fathom that he was actually finally, after all that time, coming home over a year. And when he came home, it was just, I was crying and he was crying and he was just so happy. And for weeks and months, all he could say is, I'm so happy I'm home, Mom. I'm so happy I'm home. And that's all I could say was, I'm so happy you're home too. I'm so happy you're home. Our bond was so strong, nothing could tear us apart. So when you give to St. Andrews, these are the things that you unfold: reuniting a mother with her son, rejoining families, holding out a helping hand for those that need you desperately.